Okay then guys, hello and welcome. So, what is 450 million years old? What I'm going to be talking about today is a little creature called a trilobite. So if you don't know what a trilobite is a little aquatic creature. I have a fossil of it here. So first off, we're going to talk about what the correct name for this little trilobite is here. So what are the term is the term for this? So the term for this is called an arthropod, right? And an arthropod basically just means, to classify it as one of them, is you have to be an invertebrate, which means that you have basically no spine, and you have to have an exoskeleton. And basically an exoskeleton is if you think of like an ant or a scorpion, I think you know what that means. But in case you don't, if you think of an ant and a scorpion, they've got like a hard shell on the outside. That is basically what they mean by exoskeleton, okay? They have to have a segmented body, which basically means they have to have more than one basically part to them. So if you look at the trilobite here, I'll turn it to its side, you can see that it has more than one part there, as it basically connects from here. So that's basically what that means. And they have to have paired jointed appendages. So what little creatures does this trilobite relate to? So it actually relates to quite a large number of them, because a lot of them have similar qualities to what this one has here. So basically they relate to arachnids, myriapods, and crustaceans. So you obviously know what arachnids are. Arachnids are like spiders. Myriapods are sort of like little sea shell type crustaceans, and obviously crustaceans are crustaceans like little shrimps and things like that. So that's the sort of thing they relate to. And an interesting little fact about them is 80% of these creatures are very successful in very dry environments. As you know, there are scorpions that I'm going to insert a clip here, but as you know, that there are scorpions that can live out in the desert. And obviously you've heard of the hot rod ant. The hot rod ant is like it's like a little ant, obviously, but they survive in very, 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 very harsh heat. And if you didn't know this, they have to continuously run around. Otherwise, if they stop, they could fry to death. So they have to continuously run around to try and scavenge and hunt food. But they do very, very, very well in that sort of heat. And it's interesting because these creatures can do very, very well in also in the water as well as in the heat. And I just find that quite interesting that they can do well in both sort of environments. I just think that's very, 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 very cool. But yeah, that's that. So next up, I'm going to talk about when these creatures were discovered. So when was the first time that we discovered a trilobite fossil, and how long can we date that back to? Now, I can't give you an accurate sort of year. Like I can't give you an accurate sort of timeline, because obviously they could have existed a lot more. But the first ever trilobite fossil that was found was in the Caribbean, and it was dated back to 521 million years ago. So 521 million years ago, there was a creature that basically, the trilobite creature died, and basically obviously rested, and has been since then turning into a stone for us to discover. So that's 521 million years. To put that into perspective, that is a bloody long time. How many generations of human, I don't even know how long the human race is actually for. I might actually stick it on the screen so you can see how old the human race is. But 521 million years is bloody crazy. But yeah, amazingness. So, what do trilobites eat? Now, trilobites are interesting in this as well, because trilobites have many different sort of lifestyles in the way how they eat. And basically, some of them were basically seabed predators, so they would basically go around and hunt. Some of them were scavengers, so basically some of them would act sort of like flies do, where, say for example, something dies, and it's dead, they would basically try and find that, and then they would eat like that. And some of them were filter feeders that will basically filter, obviously, the water through them, and any little pieces of stuff that they found within that, like little nutrients within that, they would filter feed on that. And lastly, they also did feed on plankton as well. So they would obviously the predators would probably go around and try and find a hunt for them, and they would feed on that. So that's basically what they would feed on. They're interesting little things. It's very interesting because it's just how long they've been around. It just really staggers me how long they've actually been around for. But And lastly, the final thing we've all been waiting for, are these little creatures extinct? And unfortunately to say, yes they are, which makes this even more rare. This creature no longer exists. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It's just a little bit of explaining what this little thing is, and explaining basically whether or not it's alive or not. I mean, I can't believe it, but these are extinct. They no longer exist. And oh, it's got a little crack there, as you can see. But they no longer exist. I just think of it like this. I'm a human in the 21st century that is holding a fossil that dates back 450 million years ago, where there was a young Earth that had a creature on it that was just good enough to basically hunt and survive on its own by catching little bits of food. And once this creature got to a ripe age, it died and got fossilized, and took millions of years to fossilize, to then be dug out of the ground by our human species, to then be put in a shop for me to go and get it. And now I'm holding it in my own hands and understanding what it is, because we've obviously done like scientific discoveries on it. And there it is. That has been in the ground for 450 million years, just laying in the rocks, just sitting there. 450 million years. That has just been sitting there in the ground for. Look at it. It's a look at the look. Oh, look at it. You can actually see like the detail of the creature. Just wow. It's great, isn't it? As you can tell, I'm a lover of like science and things like that, and I'm a lover of understanding why these things work. So I'm going to be making more content on this type of stuff, like what things are. So if that sounds like something that you may be interested in, please obviously subscribe and like and that stuff, because I really do appreciate all of that. But yeah, and if you knew what a trilobite was beforehand, I'm interested to find out. So if you knew what a trilobite was beforehand, please tell me. Give me a little comment and say that, yeah, I know what they are and all that stuff. And if you got any fossils of your own, please say, because I'd like to know. But anyway, guys, I thank you for watching this, and this was my video on a creature that's 450 million years old. Thank you guys, and see you later. Bye.